Hey, you alright? Welcome to another video. If you haven't been here before, my name's Georgia Jo and I have not filmed for a while now. I don't know why. I think I've just been overthinking it a lot and not picking up my camera and worrying about it, which is so silly. I have no idea why, but I want to get back into it. I think also I've allowed my, because my skin is not the best, I've allowed that to bother me, you know, because I've not got clear skin, so I can't film, and I don't want to put makeup on it because it just irritates my skin. So yeah, I've talked myself out of filming so much, and I just want to get back into it because I really enjoy it. I love making videos. Obviously I love reading. I've still been reading loads. I've got so many books to talk about that I've read recently. I've got so many new books, and yeah, I just want to get back into the swing of it. So I thought a nice easy video, first video back, will be my TBR. It will be a little bit late. I'm filming this on the dates. I'm going to try and get it out today, so it is the 9th of July today, but I thought, let's just film it, it's fine, don't worry about it. There's no time frame, you know, to start your TBR. So yeah, I thought let's just go through the books that I want to read this month and get back into the swing of things, you know. So yeah, like I say, we are in July, although you wouldn't know it because it's awful weather outside and I'm sat here in a big jumper because I'm freezing. So yeah, a lovely British weather day. British summer weather day, I should say. So yeah, let's just get into it anyway. Okay, so I've chose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books. I think I might choose a couple more once I go through these. So I want to have a really good reading month. I'm hoping to do a 24-hour readathon this month, which hopefully I'll get a few books read in that, so maybe I'll choose a couple more afterwards. But let's go through these 10, sorry, and then we'll see where we're at. So the first one is actually one that I'm trying to read all of the books on my TBR, and there's some that I just know I will never pick up. Not that I'll never pick up, but I just won't reach for them, you know. But I also want to read them. I don't just want to get rid of them. It could be my favourite book and I'm just getting rid of it. So I'm trying to at least put 1 or 2 or something books that I look at it and I think I'm never going to reach for that because it's not a new book, it's not one that's spoken about a lot, you know, there's no hype around it, stuff like that. So this is one of those books. So it's A Bicycle Built for Sue by Daisy Tate. I think it is like a story about friendship. Getting on a bike is going to change everything. I think it's like a woman that's going through some issues and she needs like a friends around her. Yeah, until a tragedy tore her life into little shreds. With the world in tatters, Sue is persuaded to join a charity cycle ride led by Morning TV's Kath Fuller, who is having a marriage crisis, along with Sue's self-appointed support crew, who is also struggling with their own issues. So yeah, I think it's just like a bunch of women just all rallying around each other. They're all got their own shit going on, but they're all there for each other. You know, just like a lovely, uplifting book. So I don't want to just get rid of it without reading it. So this is the first one on my TBR, A Bicycle Built for Sue by Daisy Tate. And then next up we've got a little romance, which is one I've seen everywhere, or not everywhere, I've seen a lot of people talking about it, and it is Night Shift by Annie Crown. So what originally made me pick this up is that she works in a library, and I just think that's so cute. She works in a library in school, like the school's library, and he is a basketball player. I think it's set in college, I want to say. And I think she is very much like introverted, librarian or library help, and just wants to sit and read a book. I think she's also really into like the sort of smut books and, you know, the books that you see on TikTok and stuff. So she talks about like the tropes and stuff like that. And then he is like a outgoing, confident basketball player, so I'm assuming it's going to be a bit of like a, you know, she helps him study, he helps her come out of a shell, that type of vibe. So yeah, just thought it'd be a nice romance to read. So that is Night Shift. Next up we have Reckless by Lauren Roberts. So I'm so excited to read this book. So this is the second one in, I don't actually know what the series is called, the Powerless series. I think it's just called Powerless series. So there's Powerless, and then there's like 1.5, which was Powerful, and then this is number 2. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into it. So this is a fantasy where I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, they have like ordinaries and elites. I think that's this one, and she is actually an ordinary. Yeah, Payden the lead is an ordinary. And all the ordinaries were like murdered or they're like banished, and she's sort of gone undercover type thing, and she ends up getting into the trials that they do, and she ends up in the palace, and it leads on from there. But Powerless, the first one, ends on quite a bit of a cliffhanger, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. I also got this edition from the works, and it is so pretty. Yeah, I think it's beautiful. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading this. I did read Powerful, which was the novella, and it was good for what it is, you know. It's just a novella. I think I didn't enjoy it loads, but I think that's just because it's so small, like you don't sort of have enough time to like get into it, you know. But I'm looking forward to this one. It is much smaller, I feel, than Powerless, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect from it, but I'm looking forward to reading it. So Reckless, Lauren Roberts. And then next up, again, another new one, which is a following on from a series, and it's The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. I think this series is the only Frida McFadden books I've read. So you've got The Housemaid, The Housemaid something, oh, something Housemaid, The Housemaid's Secret, and then The Housemaid is Watching. So these are like thrillers where the housemaid goes into a house, and I don't want to ruin it, so that's all I'm going to say. But it is a thriller. I do really enjoy them. I'm pretty sure they're on Kindle too, so that'll be a good one to read when I can't be asked, you know, picking up a physical book, or I'm reading later on and I don't want to have the light on or something, or I just want to get cozy in bed. This will be a good one to read. And yeah, I feel like I say, I've only read a couple of Frida McFadden's books, but I just think they go so quickly. Like, I'm intrigued the whole time, I'm invested in the story, I want to know what's happening. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I feel like I don't read a lot of thrillers, so I think this will be a nice break between the romance and the fantasy ones. So yeah, The Housemaid is Watching. And then next up, again, we've got another carrying on with a series, because I've realised I'm in the middle of so many series, and I also have some series that I want to start as well. So I need to, you know, get them ticked off. Maybe I'll do like a reading middle of, wait, that sentence made no sense. What do they call it? Reading series I'm in the middle of, or whatever it is that people name that video. Maybe I'll do something like that. But anyway, so this is the Shatter Me series. I think this is 1.5. It's a novella. I think it's Shatter Me 1.5, and then this is Shatter Me 2 in the series. I think that's right. I'm pretty sure I've only read Shatter Me so far. So this one has Destroy Me and Fracture Me in one, and it's called Unite Me. So I think, if I remember right, I'm meant to read Destroy Me, which is the first half of this book, then I'm meant to read this, Unravel Me, and then I go back to Fracture Me. I'm pretty sure that's how I meant to read it. No idea why they're both in one book. I don't know if it's always like that. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure that's how I'm meant to read it. So Shatter Me I actually read a long time ago, and I can't really remember much about it, so I might have to do a little recap. I probably won't read the whole thing, but I might do a little recap of, you know, the last few chapters, so I'm meant to rejig my memory. But yeah, so I've got these two to read, one novella and one full-sized book, and I'll read this one, then this one, then this one again, and yeah, carry on with this series. So that was Unite Me and Unravel Me by Tahiri Mafi. And then next up, so I've really enjoyed the two Japanese books that I've read so far that are translated into English. I can't speak Japanese nor read it, but I've read What You Are Looking For Is in the Library and The Kamigawa Food Detectives, I think it's called. I really enjoyed them both. They're just like, they're not necessarily books that I would jump to recommend, but they're just really lovely, simple books, you know, with not really necessarily loads going on in them. But when you finish like a heavy fantasy book or quite like an emotional book or something like that, they're really nice to read in between. So I really enjoyed those two that I read, and I know this series is really popular. So it's Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I've only got this one so far. I've not bought the rest of the series, which is very unlike me, I feel, but I wanted to see if I would enjoy it first, which I feel like I'm going to, because like I say, I did enjoy the other two. I'm not really sure what this one is about, to be honest. I just see like people talking about it. I think it was one of the first sort of Japanese books that were translated to get really popular over here. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading it. I don't really know what to expect. I have no idea what it's about, but hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be a nice little book to read in between all the others. So yeah, that is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I'm very much looking forward to reading that one. Next up, we have This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. So I've read a few of Kaylin Bayron's books and really enjoyed them. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. And I know a new one came out of hers recently. I think it was like Sleeps Like Dead or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm looking forward to reading it. So I've got this one to read. Then there's one that's called, so this is This Poison Heart. I think it's This Wicked Fate, which I don't own yet. And then there's the new one. So I want to sort of get through, or not get through, that makes it sound like a chore, but I want to read all of her like books that she's got out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. I think she has magical powers where she can control plants. I think that's what it is. But she's sort of the only person that can, I think. So she doesn't really have anyone around her to sort of help her, so she can't really control it. I think that's the sort of premise of the story. But yeah, I don't really know where the story is going to go or anything about it. I just know that she can control plants. So yeah, that is This Poison Heart, Kaylin Bayron. And then we just have two left. So we've got Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Iyamide. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but Ace of Spades. I'm not really sure what this book is about. How can you play the game when the cards are stacked against you? I'm not 100% sure what it's about, but it's set in a private academy. Hello, Nevius, hi, it's me. Who am I? That's not important. All you need to know is I'm here to divide and conquer. Aces. Strong Gossip Girl vibes and a whole lot of mystery. Okay, I didn't actually realise it was a mystery book. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. Like I say, I don't know much about it. I've seen a few people talk about it and they've enjoyed it, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know anything about it, but hopefully I will. So yeah, that is Ace of Spades. And then last but not least, we have The Theory of Not Quite Everything by Cara Nod, I want to say. Life is more than just a numbers game. I think this is like a literary fiction, general fiction. I'm not really very good with the genres. I feel like I know if it's like a fantasy or it's a romance or a thriller, and then outside of that I'm a little bit lost. I don't know what comes under literary fiction, what comes under general fiction, like what does general fiction mean? I'm not sure. Contemporary fiction, I don't know. I'm not sure what they all mean. But yeah, I'm a little bit lost. I don't really know what this book is actually about. Someone's review on the back says, if this novel about mathematicians were a maths problem and Cara Nod set out to prove that love is varied, unpredictable and infinite in its capacity to expand, then she's done it. I adored this quirky, big-hearted book. So I think again this is going to be one that's going to be nice to read in between like fantasy books or romance books or stuff like that. Smart, funny, tender, unforgettable, gorgeous. That's what people have said. Also, if it's about maths, I'm gonna really enjoy it because I was a bit of a maths geek in school. That was my favourite subject. So yeah, I don't really know. I don't know anything about it, but I thought it was a very cool cover. So yeah, that is The Theory of Not Quite Everything, and that is the last one that I have pulled out to read this month. But like I say, I have got a lot of books. I recently did like put everything onto Goodreads because it just wasn't up to date on my Goodreads, so I put it all on there, and I think I'm at about 150 books, something like that, which I think, if I'm remembering correctly, has actually gone down from the beginning of the year, which is good. But I did say I wanted to have my books at like 30, something like that, by the end of the year. So I need to get moving with them. But yeah, I just don't know what I want to read, what I'm sort of in the mood for. I think I want to get some series like ticked off before I start other series, you know. So maybe I'll go with this one. This is one that I read recently, and it is the first one. I think is called City of Bones, I want to say, and this is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. So the reason I started this series is because it's got, I'm pretty sure this is the one that's got a series on Netflix called Mortal Instruments, I want to say, something like that. Maybe it's called Shadowhunters, I'm not sure, but I want to watch that, but I want to read the books first. So I'm gonna pop this one on there and get this read this month. So it's City of Ashes, Cassandra Clare. This is like a, I think it's pretty sure it's YA fantasy, and it is about a girl who is human but she can see all the like supernatural stuff that's going on, and you're meant to only be able to see the supernatural stuff if you are supernatural. So there's something going on there, like why can she see it? And she ends up getting sort of caught up in this supernatural world with her mum, and she grew up without a dad, but she don't really know who her dad was and stuff like that. So yeah, I enjoyed. I think I gave the other one 3 or 3.5 stars, the first one, because it didn't quite pull me in, but I did, once I got into it, I enjoyed it, you know. So I think the more I'm going to read it, the more I'm going to enjoy it, because I did really like the characters and it is very easy to read. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this one read. City of Ashes, Cassandra Clare. I think this is a 6-book series, I want to say, and I do own them all, only because I bought them off Vinted, so I bought them all in one. So yeah, that's that one, and I think I'm going to choose one more. Let's have a look. I'm going to choose one that I don't think I would pick up, like, you know, it's not one that I would go for straight away, you know what I mean? I think we're gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with Swimming for Beginners by Nicola Gill, or Jill. So I think this is, can one small grubby person teach a control freak how to open their heart? I think it's a bit of like a Grumpy Sunshine, but it's not a romance. I think it's like maybe her niece, or like, I'm not sure. Loretta has life under control. Children do not come into the mix. I'm not sure where she finds the child, but this all changes, however, when a stranger in an airport asks Loretta to keep an eye on her sleeping 6-year-old Phoebe. The stranger never comes back. Okay, so she quite literally, it is a random child that she gets stuck with. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see how that's sort of going to play out. Eleanor Oliphant meets About a Boy. I've not read About a Boy, but I have read Eleanor Oliphant and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. A beautiful read full of heart and depth. Nicola Gill, or Jill, never disappoints. Funny, pithy, I'm not sure what that word means, and always satisfying. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good one to read, but like I said, don't think I would necessarily reach for it, because it's not like a popular fantasy or romance or whatever. It's not high up on my TBR, but I'm going to get it read this month. So yeah, last but not least, that is the 12th book on my TBR, and it is Swimming for Beginners by Nicola Gill, or Jill, however she pronounces it. That is the last one on the TBR. So that is July's TBR and my first video back. Hopefully it was okay. Feeling good about it. For now, that is the end of today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did and you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. But other than that, I will see you in a bit.